Hi, this is Nicholas Morgan, and this is my case study for EDL 850 School Law in the summer 2012. Jumping right into things, I think what we know after reading this case study is this is a high achieving school with a high socioeconomic status among the student body. I think it was described as being located in an affluent portion of a large city. Dr. Forbes, the principal, is aware of some of the students' high stress levels that have been caused from Miss Walker's science classes. Dr. Forbes is in his 9th year as a principal and has received many awards, and the school's received many awards for their high achievement levels. Miss Walker is in her 2nd year of teaching, so skipping down to the fourth bullet, she would be a non-tenured teacher. And then the third bullet says a website has been created suggesting critical and vulgar comments about Miss Walker and her science classes. So that's what we know. What we need to know, number one, I think you got to look at what type of information and threats were made towards Miss Walker on this website, who created the website, who emailed the website URL address to Miss Walker, and any type of previous altercations Miss Walker has had with students through the first quarter of the year, as this took place on Veterans Day weekend in November. The identifiable problem, I think there's 3 problems, and the primary problem is that this website was created about a staff member from an unknown source. Secondary problem is Miss Walker's relationships that she has built with the students do not seem to be very effective, and the principal, I think, needs to act decisively and quickly to solve this problem, as Miss Walker seems to be very upset and a little shaken up about this website that was created about her. Plan of action outline, I think the first step is you need to make sure you collect all information and data that is available. You need to view the website, print off the hard copies of the website and the email in case it's deleted in the short future. Look at the email that was sent to Miss Walker, and then just any additional information from Miss Walker that you can receive that might be related to this incident. Number 2 is I think you need to begin to contact district and community personnel. I would inform the superintendent, as shaken up as Miss Walker is, and as I know in the case study, Dr. Forbes referred to as sincerely believes this is a prank, but in any type of the context, I think you need to take the situation very seriously. I would work with the IT director to try to maybe track the website and email creators, see if there's a possible way that it can be identified through that. Third, I would visit with the human resources director. That way can better understand any legality issues and the proper steps to follow in order to make sure not liable for any wrongdoing throughout this process. And then fourth, depending on the severity of the threats posted on the website and the information in the website, I think the police department needs to get involved if you're going to have to do some sort of detective work to try to figure out who created this website and sent the email. Along with that, I think you need to begin the investigative process. Communicate the roles among the departments that I just discussed, collect and document all information gathered, work together collaboratively with the investigative team to analyze that data, and then if necessary, you still believe that it was one of her students that created this website and sent the email, then I think you should go ahead and follow through with your beliefs and begin interviewing students such as Randy Franks, who is mentioned in the email, and some of his friends if that data suggests that those are possible suspects in this scenario. The leadership strategies used, I discussed a lot about communication among the building leader and the superintendent, just to keep him informed, keep him in the loop, or her, excuse me. The IT department, the HR department, and like I said, depending upon the severity and kind of the situation as it unfolds, maybe even the police department. I Collaboration, I think, is very key in this. As many perspectives as you can pull from in any type of situation like this, I think, is important. But at the same time, I don't believe you really want this type of thing to spread through the village like a wildfire, or your staff like a wildfire. Try to keep it, I would try to keep it quiet. Just try to involve the correct people, as many people as you feel appropriate, but not while not trying to let the word out to too many different stakeholders in the school community. Another leadership strategy is to exercise the existing resources, whether they're from the community, the police department, or the school district, the IT department, the HR department. And then last, I think you need to use the data. Look at the facts, look at the information, use that information to drive your decision-making process. How does this decision benefit students? This decision that I've come up with to analyze the data, work collaboratively, and then go ahead and follow through with the interviewing of students if that's what the data has led you to. I think this promotes the success of all students by setting an example of a zero tolerance policy for this type of behavior, and that you are going to follow up on any type of actions like this in a very serious manner, and quick and decisive manner. I also think that this decision benefits students because the effects of this webpage could damage Ms. Walker's confidence, leading to ineffective teaching strategies in her classroom. Some data examples from this case: Principal Forbes has been principal for 9 years of the suburban school. Well, I shouldn't say suburban school, but this affluent neighborhood school with a high SES. Ms. Walker is in her second year of teaching specialized science courses that many of the students that are in her classes are vying for valedictorian and salutatorian. So it creates a very competitive environment to get the best grades. Ms. Walker has had disgruntled parents and students in the past. This website was designed to grade Ms. Walker over Veterans Day weekend, and Ms. Walker has had confrontations with Randy Franks and some of his friends in the past. Personal thoughts, values, and meanings, proactive versus reactive. I know in the case study it said Dr. Forbes has visited with Ms. Walker in the past about strategies to implement to try to maybe settle some of the disgruntled remarks from parents and students, but obviously those strategies have not been very effective. So I think he needed to continue to be more proactive in the implementation of those strategies and the effectiveness of those strategies. A checks and balances system is another thing that came to my mind. Whereas I don't know if Ms. Walker is just completely out on a limb teaching these classes on her own, or if she's a part of a department that she could work together with, so that maybe she could better explain to some colleagues as to why she's getting all these complaints, and maybe the colleagues can provide some perspective to her about how to maybe resolve these issues. Also, I think that Dr. Forbes needs to display a loyalty to his staff by sticking behind Ms. Walker and trying to do his best to support her through this situation. I think Dr. Forbes needs to act quickly and decisively while still trying to maintain an analytical approach to this scenario. And then safety. I think the number one key here is just providing a safe teaching and learning environment for students and staff to come to work to every day. Collaboration with other departments in the school district and maybe community. Exercise those resources from the community. Reflection. I think it's important that Dr. Forbes and Ms. Walker reflect back to the first quarter of the school year to think of any type of behaviors or possible events that might have led to the design of this website. And then most of all, I think you just need to make sure you follow all legal guidelines. And that's where I would communicate with the HR department to make sure you're not setting up yourself for any type of liability through this process. Unresolved issues, still don't know who sent the email, still don't know who created the web page, and I think also you don't know what exactly Miss Walker's actions were prior to this event that may have caused the leading that led up to this website. Integrity and ethical behavior. I believe I didn't demonstrate a sense of integrity and ethical behavior by collaborating with different departments, the IT, the HR, the police department, and I demonstrated a sense of integrity and ethical behavior by collecting as much information and evidence as possible and acted accordingly. I think the easy thing to do if you're Dr. Forbes is immediately begin accusing certain students, such as Randy Franks, some of his friends in this class, where, given the information in the case study, you don't even know if a student created the website. It could be a disgruntled parent, maybe a jealous colleague of Miss Walker's. I don't know why, but there's just several different possibilities, and I think accusing a couple students is the easy way out. Fairness, equity, dignity, and respect. I acted with fairness by exemplifying analytical thinking in an efficient manner. Just like I just said, I think the easy thing to do is to just begin accusing students that first come to your mind. And I think acting quickly and decisively is shows a lot of respect and fairness to Miss Walker's behalf, because obviously she was very shaken up and emotionally hurt by this website that was created about her. Personal and professional code of ethics. I demonstrated a personal and professional code of ethics by displaying loyalty to one of my staff members, and also by encouraging a safe teaching and learning environment. So that's my the way I would try to handle this case study. Obviously, without being able to follow through on some of these steps and decisions that I would try to incorporate, it's hard to really get into a lot of depth and details. Something like this, I think there's a ton of variables that you must account for before you begin really pinpointing exactly who you're going to go after and how, and the process that you're going to go through before you come through a final decision. Thank you very much.